I'm Kate Arms. I'm a coach with Signal Fire Coaching. And today I want to talk a little bit about active listening and most importantly, what most people get wrong about active listening. And most of us have run into active listening in our lives in one way or another. But just to give you the lay of the land, I'm going to define it for you. Active listening is that form of listening where you take information in and you process it for your own understanding to make sure that you really understand what the other person's saying, what the other person means with the words that they're using, and then you check in with them to make sure you got it so that you can refine your understanding if you were making a mistake. Really good active listening is incredibly powerful at building relationships if both people are doing it. It's also really powerful at building relationships if one person is trying to serve the other, if the person who's trying to serve does that really deep active listening. But really bad active listening is the worst. Really bad active listening is when somebody says, "So what I hear you saying is," and then they repeat back almost what you said, maybe in different words, but you get a sense that what you said had no impact on them. Who you are doesn't matter to them, and that they're saying this to try and manipulate you into something, and you're just trying to figure out what it is that is their hidden agenda. Now, there's one thing that people are doing wrong when they do that kind of active listening. They're missing the point of active listening, and so they're losing the whole foundation. And they're just using the skills. The skills are listen, try and make sense, check out your understanding, keep your ego out, and not deal with your position, your emotions, your state of being until after you've made sure you know what their position is. And what makes this go wrong all the time is forgetting why you're doing it. You're doing it because in order to have a working relationship, a successful negotiation, a successful conversation, a sense of intimacy developing if it's part of a relationship with your spouse or your kids, it actually is important for you to understand where they're coming from. If you are not actually understanding what they're coming from, it is all about you and what you can get from the situation. And it's not about the relationship between you. And in order to make it about the relationship between you and to make the person you're listening to actually feel heard, there's only one thing you need to do. You need to get genuinely curious about what their experience is. You really need to actively wonder, what is it that this person that I'm talking to right now is thinking and feeling about this thing they're talking about? How is what they're thinking and talking about different than my perspective on the same situation? What do we have in common about this? Is the second level. But the first level is just genuine curiosity. Listening, to actively listen, the first step is to let go of your agenda long enough to be curious about their agenda and their position. It's not about giving up your agenda for the whole conversation or the whole negotiation, but it is about getting genuinely curious about who this person is and how they see the world. And if you can cultivate that curiosity in your relationships, it is going to make your ability to negotiate, formally or informally, much stronger. And your ability to create working relationships and intimacy at the level that is appropriate for whatever the relationship is, much stronger. And so there you have it. The one thing that most people get wrong about active listening is that they are not curious and they're stuck in their own agendas. And the solution is just to get curious about the person you're talking to and really want to know what their position is. And trust that simply understanding them is not agreeing with them. It's not giving up yourself for them. You will take care of yourself. Stand for your bottom lines, hold your boundaries, and they will take care of themselves. And if you're genuinely curious about each other, you'll figure out how to make the relationship work.